Good afternoon, I am TheZOMBIEJ. This is another rant video. I know you like these. So, we're going to be talking about molds. And no, I'm not talking about mold, the disgusting thing that'll get you sick. Some people are allergic to mold. I myself am not. However, I can tell you that if you consume mold accidentally or on purpose, either way, it's not pleasant. So, molds. Specifically, Legos molds. Because they, well, here's an example. This set, this Toa Anawa Metru set from last year, or not last year, 20 years ago, literally 20 years ago, uses many pieces. Some of these pieces are obviously cloned. Like there's multiples of the same piece. That required a number of molds to you know, shape the pieces and whatnot. And the molds, obviously, they use some sort of well, at the time they used some kind of material that can be turned into plastic, and injected molding, I think is what it was called. This process was called. They inject the pellets of thing into the tubes, and the machine and everything goes, all this randomness, heats it all up and shoots it into the mold. The mold it then casts the pieces, and then once you know the little sprue, like for example this mask, there's somewhere in here there's a sprue, but right there in the nose part. That is where they cut that off and try to make it look better. And that's quality control. Nowadays, Lego seems to be slightly behind on the quality control stuff, but there's stuff I can really don't care about. But hey, quality control is everything, and yeah. And well, with molds like this, like for example, this Proto-Piton, which is a flexible plastic made of different plastic than this plastic and this plastic. And all these molds, all these pieces, all their molds are gone, with the exception of the bushings and the forelongs. And maybe even the gears and this white piece and the three longs and the black pins. There are still quite a number of pieces that Lego still produce in many colors and many variants and whatnot. But what do they do with the molds that they no longer use? Like, for example, the mold for this Miru. Yeah, Miru. Imagine that on my face. They don't make this anymore. They never will. They just never will. They destroy molds. Because piracy, that's why. They don't want third parties or whatnot to get their hands on these molds. However, there have been knockoff companies that have basically cloned these molds and made their own bootleg sets. So if you can get a bootleg Miru, yeah, that can happen. Although with ABS plastic nowadays, I've seen a Skybird video, he talks about ABS plastic Bionicle G1 parts. He talked about how I got a Miru, although this isn't even a, what the fuck? This isn't ABS plastic, it's just the original Miru. But why is it that Lego destroys these molds? Well, the answer is simple. They don't want anyone getting a hold of these molds so they can create their own specs or use them for creating the same, if not multiple different variants and colors of the same product that Lego used to make. Like if you wanted an all an all red Anawa Metro. That is, it can be done if the mask is made in Metro Red, but unfortunately, Lego does not like people using their molds, so they're not going to do that. They destroyed the molds, and this has become a practice ever since, well, for ages now. And well, they typically don't keep these molds around. They just destroy them and hope that no traitorous employees deliver a copy of the specs to a bootleg company, because yes, that can probably happen. I definitely believe that kind of thing has happened over time. It's been done before by other companies, along with firearm manufacturers and whatnot, I think. And bootlegs are interesting. We'll talk about bootlegs separately in another video, but the fact that Lego, they're usually a secretive company, yet they've become a little more transparent over the past decade, it seems. Maybe even less than that. I don't know. But the fact that they destroy these molds after a certain period of time and just not let anyone else use them, because if Lego doesn't use them anymore, give them to someone else and they'll use them to make more Bionicle parts for us fans. That would be nice. It's like, okay, so I had a Nerf or a Buzzbee blaster called the Hunter. It was a bolt action Buzzbee dart, shitty bullet dart firing blaster. I've had that thing for less than a decade, I'd say, and found it at a thrift store for like $2, and I just love the satisfying, yeah, it's fun. But I don't use it. Over time, I would usually just play around with it and just do the bolt action thing, and maybe even fire off a dart at the window, at a canister, Bionicle canister, or even at a Bionicle itself, just to watch it fall to the floor. So I know that sounds terrible, but it's funny. So yesterday, I got rid of it. I feel like it's best if someone else can enjoy the thing that I used to enjoy, which was the Buzzbee Hunter bolt action small little rifle thing. And that's a thing that really anybody and everybody should be doing. If you don't use something anymore, if you don't enjoy something anymore, give it to someone else and they'll enjoy it. Let other people experience these things. It's the same can be applied to Lego's molds, Lego and their molds. If they don't use them anymore, don't destroy them. That's a waste of money, you morons. What the fuck? Give them to other companies, and they'll produce parts for us to use, reuse, use again, and make more Bionicle mocks to our heart's content. Unfortunately, some people are very stingy about this, so it's kind of stupid. But yeah, the fact that Lego just destroys the molds and doesn't let anybody else use them is, well, they don't like people, knowing their secrets and whatnot. And while, again, they've been fairly transparent the past few years or so, it is what it is at the end of the day. So honestly, I think it's really kind of lame that Lego just destroys these molds and probably even destroys the specs for the molds as well, unless they somehow remember those specs. I doubt it, but, those specs are critical to making the molds exact, so you can reproduce this mask in the same, you know, dimensions and whatnot. Otherwise, you could be making a slightly larger or slightly smaller variant. Those specs have to be accurate, and there you go. The problem is, again, stinginess and secretive stuff, and well, I can't understand companies not wanting to support the whole bootleg thing. At the end of the day, it's personal choice. You know, if you want to buy these if us, the Bionicle fans, want to buy bootleg parts, we will. You can't stop us, Lego. We'll buy what we want to buy. You know, I had that Doomsday, or Sea Star as it's originally called, Bionicle bootleg. I found at on Amazon for like $20 or something like that. I still have it. The neck socket part is broken, but the head's still there. So there you go. That's probably the only Bionicle bootleg I legitimately have. Everything else is just, well, CCBS and normal construction and system stuff, and yeah. Also, well, I have dabbled in Mega Blocks or Mega Constructs. I even, well, I don't think I messed around with Creo at all. I don't care about Creo, the little Transformer things. Those look like shit, to be honest. Now, Lego did do a Optimus Prime, which that thing is expensive, but it looks awesome. I'm not gonna waste however much it costs to buy that set unless it's like half off. If it's half off, you know, half price. But, you know, the price you pay for things and the quality you get alongside. So, but, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, Lego chooses to do what they choose to do. So, that's not redundant. But if we can't get newer copies, new fresh copies of these parts at all on this Toa Anawa set, well, unfortunately, it is, there is 3D printing. You know, 3D printing is a thing, and also resin casts. You know, Skybird has done some resin printing, resin casting, and so has Tammy Calamity, and you know, the resin stuff and the 3D print stuff. While I like the direction, or not direction, but the fact that you can make make Bionicle pieces without you know, using ABS plastic is pretty cool. But ABS plastic is still being used for Bionicle parts. Like I said, Skybird did a video on it, and that's pretty cool. And obviously, there are probably other methods of making Bionicle parts, G1 parts specifically, so that, you know, we can continue to have G1 parts, we can continue to make G1 mocks and canon versions of sets and characters that we never got, like Artaka, you know, with the Mask of Creation, his Mask of Creation for the G1 version, which looks pretty freaking cool. Again, you know, Lego destroys the molds because obviously, you know, they don't want people to know their shit. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is, and that's pretty much all it really boils down to. Is it is what it is, and if the fans want to buy bootleg parts, so be it. However, I will say, buy at your own risk. So, you know, there's websites like AliExpress and whatnot. There's there are some sketchy and rough bootlegs that come from other countries. You know, like if you see a Toa Anawa bootleg, Tammy Calamity did a video on that. Yeah, I can't see me owning that bootleg. It's rough and stupid, and I hate it. This is perfectly fine, though I still have to change out the eye stalk. Yeah. But that's really all I have to say about Lego's destroying of the molds, and why they shouldn't do that, and why it's perfectly fine for other companies to use these molds. And, well, if you have anything to add about this subject, post in the comment section below, because, you know, I feel like that as time goes on, probably Lego will be more lenient on this kind of thing. But at the same time, you know, they are a huge company. They will do what they do. They will do what they want to do. And it is what it is. And what it is what it is. So yeah. Personally, I don't like the fact that they're destroying old molds. But, yeah, that's what it is. Nothing I can do about it except make a video about it, so there you go. Stay tuned for more videos and more rant videos. I've got plenty of them in the pipeline, and of course mock reviews. I'll be reviewing mocks. Stay tuned for that. I am TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks there. Have a good fucking day, and peace.